Hey guys, it's Mike with another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Today we're going to talk about the last 30 days, the $53 I spent, whether or not it was worth it, as well as if I'm going to continue to be a spender in the game. So starting out, kind of taking a peek at the account, in 30 days I feel like we've had a lot of progress. Now to be fair, I don't know that spending has helped me out dramatically in that time frame. It obviously has helped. But we have quite a few legendaries on the account. If we go over to the codex here, we have about over half of the legendaries in the game so far, which is pretty exciting. We do have all of the rares as well as all the uncommons and commons. So from a collector standpoint, I feel like we've made a lot of progress, and I look forward to getting in the game every day and seeing about making more. That being said, we do have a couple summons to do today, and on 30 days, we get a free legendary character, so we'll be summoning that as well towards the end. So stick around, we'll see who we get. But you can see the account for me, I feel like is pretty healthy. The biggest opportunity on my account is gear, which I think there was only one purchase that was made that actually gave me any pieces of gear. I think it was 4 or 5 and 6 star pieces. So that definitely was a benefit to the account. So the packs I did buy were the Valentine's Day special. We went over that in the video before. I think they were a pretty good value. And then the other thing I did purchase was on the champion pass here, because I got to the end of the month and you get a lot of juicy rewards down here, and it seemed for $20 was a pretty fair deal. This is something I might continue to do in the future every month. Honestly, it's probably going to depend on if I can monetize the channel and if I can pay for my bad habits. But it seems to be a fairly good value as long as you're active in the game and you enjoy the game. But you get a guaranteed legendary, you get some upgraded summon pulls, as well as some of the special summoning tickets. So you get, and then also you get some relic pulls as well to start moving towards pity in that space. But overall, I think that this could be a good value moving forward. If you're going to spend $20 on the game per month, that might be a good place to put it. But I do keep my eyes on the packs because you never know what's going to come through and be a benefit. So when I started out the account, I was pretty confident I was going to be a free-to-play player. I've always prided myself in these games as being free-to-play and kind of working through the challenges and just kind of grinding it out. But I think it was honestly that $3 pack that got me, because it was like $3. How could I say no to $3? It was like a 10 pull and some rubies or something, but it got me. And then from there, it was like, well, I'm going to spend $3. I might as well spend $33. And then if I was spend $33, I might as well spend 20 more. So it's a dirty habit, but it got me going. So good on them. But I did want to talk about what got me and whether or not it was worth it. So to be fair, I got a lot of extra summons purchasing those packs, and ultimately that's a majority of what all of the money was towards, is extra summons. I think there's one guaranteed legendary I got in the champion pass, and then a lot of extra rubies, which ultimately went into more summons. So at the end of the day, I do have a Morgan Chivalry level 3. She's doing pretty well. I would say for a free-to-play account, I did have her Chivalry level 1. I happened to pull 2 of her before I spent any money, and then I did get a Chivalry out of putting these guys together. So I do think the Chivalry level, the 3rd Chivalry, is definitely, you know, pay to win so far in 30 days, but depending on the pulls you get, you might be further along. You can also focus more of your attention here. For Cormac, probably would not have him Chivalry level 10. I have not pulled that many Cormacs, but I did use some of those, what are they at? These guys here, to get him up to Chivalry level 10. But I think he would probably be closer to Chivalry level 5-ish if I had to guess. Likewise with Kay, I wouldn't have her at Chivalry level 8. She would probably be around 3 to 5 as well. And these Chivalries start to really stack up and help your account and allow you to progress a little further. Merlin, I did get an extra copy of him. Pretty excited about that. Chivalry level 1. Nika, I probably actually wouldn't even have on my account. I was only able to get Nika because of the purchases of the Valentine's Day event, and she is a rockstar champion. That being said, there is not a lot of content that she's going to help me get through that a good Turin would not be able to do. I'd say the benefit of Nika is the AoE ability on the heal, so you get the healing ability you get from Turin, but you also get a little damage attached to it as well. And then also with the serpents and stacking vigor and some added perks. But there's not a lot of content. I feel like you have to have her versus another healer. She just brings a little more and makes it a little easier. So other notable pulls I've had that I may not have was Clarison here, Lancelot. I would have got Sergius either way. Claudius I got beforehand. Sigrun, I did get a copy of her that I probably wouldn't have got otherwise. I would not have gotten Charlotte had I not bought that champion pass because I wouldn't have had enough raid up summons. I got Ain and Lot. I think Ain is actually Anya. I heard it was a Greek name. So I've been calling her Ain this whole time because I'm, Western American. So here forward, we're going to try to call her Anya. Be respectful out of there. But those pulls, now to be fair, I probably would have gotten some of them because I would have hit pity along the way. So that being said, there probably is about 4 or 5 additional legendaries on my account that I wouldn't have had if I not paid for those packs. So that, I mean, it's hard to say that it doesn't help you progress along. So the one thing I will say is there's the nuanced benefit of a lot of pulls is you do pull a lot of rare characters, so you do start to stack up chivalries. My first chivalry level 10 was Turin. I got her dialed in pretty early on, and then I moved over to Cormac, and now I'm working on Kay. But I would know that their chivalry levels would not be as high had I not done as many pulls as I have. That being said, I feel like these are straight inevitable. Like if you play the game for 60 to 90 days, my guess is you're going to have chivalry level 10 characters across the board for rares all the way down through uncommon and commons. It should not take that long, especially it doesn't seem to be they're adding any rares into the game, which we talked about yesterday. I feel like that would be a benefit if they would do that. But you're going to get these characters repeatedly on your journey to getting more legendaries. So you will stack up chivalries on them, as well as you'll be getting these memory stones that you can go ahead and outfit the characters that you want chivalry on, even if you don't pull them, which is kind of nice. And then once you start stacking those up, you can get those shards exchanged for characters you do want, or the chivalry of characters you do want. So there's a lot of benefits in here that help you along the way if you kind of have really unfortunate luck and you don't pull the characters you want or need. There are avenues to get that character and get their chivalry up without ever actually having to pull them, which I think is a great aspect of the game. But if you really think about the progress of this game, the fun of it is it's a collector game. Obviously, there's dungeons and stuff to put your characters through to see how you can progress and get better rewards and better gear, which is what I need the best or the most. But ultimately, like once my Morgan's on level 10, like what am I going to do with my Morgan? So that's part of the fun is every time you get to step up your legendaries and get their chivalry a little further. This should keep me going for probably well over a year, just trying to outfit specific legendaries with their chivalry level 10. Especially as more legendaries come into the mix, there's going to be a bigger pool, so it's going to be a little bit harder to pull. And then every, I think 2 weeks, they're adding a new legendary, so you're constantly going to be in a space of trying to get higher chivalries. If all your characters are maxed out chivalry level 10, I don't know what the fun is at that point of pulling, except for the new characters that come out, because you have everything. So I think in some aspects being super pay heavy and having all those characters on level 10 kind of takes a little bit of fun of the way of the game for me, but it just kind of depends on what you want to do. I have been focusing a lot of attention on my Morgan. I've got her maxed out with her level, maxed out with her her advancement, maxed out with her awakening, her skill ups. I need 1 here and 1 here, and then she'll be maxed out there. I'm going to get 1 of them as soon as the talismans open up again tomorrow. And then the chivalry, obviously we're at 3, so got a lot of work there. But my goal is to get her completely maxed out other than chivalry within the next day or 2, and then I can work over on her relic. I don't know the Flame Relic is the one I want to max out, so I'm kind of a little reluctant to do it. It is a great relic for her, but I have heard that the Frost and the Storm Relic are both great as well, so I'm not entirely sure which one's the best, but I'll have to play with that when I get them. But I might max this relic out because over time I'm probably going to max out all 3 eventually, so I might as well start with the one she has. So that being said, I think I'd be lying if to say I did not get a lot of progress on my account without spending, but I would say that if you are truly free to play and you're sticking to it, you're just going to have a longer period of fun. I'm going to end up maxing my account out a little bit earlier. There's not a significant amount of content I'm going to be able to get through that you won't be able to get through as a free-to-play player. It's just a matter of getting some lucky pulls and getting that progress a little slower over time. I did want to mention this. I found this little icon here. I'm not sure if it's on the phone or not, but this is absolutely money. You click that one button and boom, you get all of your resources instead of scrolling around trying to click on everything. You just hit that one button and boom, it's all there. So I really appreciate that. I don't know if that was part of the quality of life edition. I don't recall that being there last week. So it could have been part of the update that came through. Another little tidbit I wanted to add, in the previous video I mentioned that you get after 60 you have a 50% chance of pulling the rate up summon champion and then a 50% of everybody else. That's actually not true. So if I get rid of myself here, come on down here to this rate info, it'll actually break down the champions that are available during your rate up summons. So this is actually a really great way for you to be able to focus your attention, even if you're not necessarily going for the main champion here. If you're trying to get Lancelot situated with more chivalry, or Anya situated with more chivalry, this would be a great time to pull, and it's going to give you heightened chances. And the more legendaries come into the game, the chances of pulling that specific legendary utilizing a special summons is going to go smaller, or get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so it's going to be a little bit harder every single time they add a new legendary to the game. So this is a great way to kind of negate that, where this might be where you want to spend a majority of your rubies when you get into these rate up summons and there happens to be a champion that you're really trying to focus on. Whereas right now I've been spending a lot of rubies here, which may or may not be the best move. For me, my account's so fresh and new, I need everybody, so I don't know it's a bad move either, but the rate up summons seem to be a good place to put it, and it is the same price with 150 rubies per pull. So if you get to a point where you're trying to specifically get a character, that might be worth waiting for that character to show up as one of the alternatives in a rate up summons. But ultimately, I think I'm going to try to keep my spending to a minimum, maybe not a zero, but a minimum. I think that I'll probably be buying that champion pass every month, or at least this month, until I start stacking up enough legendaries that I have my teams built out for all of the dungeons. And then I might tone back a bit. But I do really enjoy the advancement. I do feel like, compared to other games I've played, that spending money in this game does kind of feel like it goes a much longer way. And so you feel rewarded for spending, so that, you know, it kind of re-encourages the behavior. But not today. Not today. I'm not buying anything today. We're going to go ahead and start pulling the things that I do have on the account, starting with our guaranteed legendary. That's a lie. We're going to start with these guys here, these relics. Might as well see if we get lucky in one of these. We got nothing. Still looking for Jarrett's Frost Relic because I use him exclusively in Gorgos. Having a positive affinity there would be a big win, but haven't found it. Hopefully it's in the shop today. I did pick up Rosier's Flame Relic, so I was really excited that showed up in the shop the other day. So I picked that up, started working on that. So on this guy here, we're going to summon its guaranteed legendary champion. I think we just get a random legendary from here, so we'll see who we get. Good intentions not guaranteed good results. We got a Bedivere. We've got a Bedivere. I was like, that's a pretty ominous way for him to come out. I was like, I want good results. That is awesome. That is so exciting. He's probably the #1 damage dealer in the game. I've been looking to pit pull him since day one, so that is an awesome pull for the account. He does overlap a little bit with Cormac because they are both Frost characters. It would be nice to have a solid damage dealer in each affinity, which would be a benefit, and Cormac is kind of fixed in on that Frost Relic because that's really his best relic. And from what I understand, most people with Bedivere are using the Frost Relic as well, which is kind of cool. It comes with it. I do think, seeing how you have the champion pull that you get here, it would be really cool if the relic that you summoned with the champion was random. So you get the champion, you can get any of the 3 relics, which I think would be pretty cool, but just so not everybody's starting with the same, not everybody's in the shop looking for the same thing. Like, it just adds a whole element of random to the kit. We're like, not only did I get Bedivere, I got his Frost Relic. You know, like, you could be excited about each side of that pull. Kind of a fun idea, Netmarble, if you're interested, but ultimately can't complain. Bedivere is awesome. So that's one legendary on the account. I don't know that we can guarantee a second one. If we roll up here, we are 30 away, 28 away, and I don't have enough rubies. I actually don't. I was like, I probably could get there, but I don't think I have enough. I can make 2 10 packs, so hopefully we get lucky. On the rate up summons, I did pull Charlotte already, so I'm going to sit tight, save these up for the next rate up summons in 2 weeks. And then also on the extras, I would love a Guinevere, but I did already pull a Lancelot, and I've already pulled an Anya. So I have a Chivalry on Tristan already. He would probably be my least favorite of these. And Guinevere is really there just for Master of Apocalypse. Although I did finally get Bodwin up to 3 Chivalry level 3, so I could start building him to help me out in that space. But we're going to hold off on pulling those guys. We are going to jump into 20 of these at least and see what we can do. So let's start with that first 10 and keep our fingers crossed. I'm so excited I got Bedivere. That's so amazing. So I've been waiting for that for a long time. We got rares. I say rares. We got 2. Okay, perfect. Let's see who we got. We're looking for Kay. Isolde is a great pull. Anguish is a great pull. Both their chivalries are pretty low for me, so those are both characters that I intend to use. Anguish I am using as dot damage for a single target, although now that I have Rosier's dot damage on her Flame Relic, I can alternate between them depending on where Affinity lines up. But he is doing a lot of work for me in Gorgos right now, so that's pretty good. And Isolde, I haven't quite built her yet. And Isolde here, she does have a lot of like dot removal in her kit on her passive, as well as some healing ability. But with Jarrett, I don't know. She just hasn't quite been the priority. Sarah, however, has a buff disruptor, I think on her A1. So I've really been focusing on Sarah as a secondary healer, or I think my third healer at this point, because I've got Nika and Turin as well. But she is on my list. As far as rares you should build, she's definitely on the list. Let's go ahead and pull another 10 here, and then we'll see. I don't think I'll have 1,500 rubies. I might be able to put them together, though, so we'll take a peek just to get us to pity. If we don't reset it right now, we didn't. We didn't. Hopefully we get a couple. All right, we'll take 2. We'll take 2. Let's see who we got today. We got another Nicholas starting to stack up his chivalries, and another Cormac. So Cormac's kind of fun here because I can actually go in and sell that memory stone and get some tokens for the shop. I have 75 so far, so that'll give me another 75 for 150 if I go into the shard exchange here, and we can go select all. I'll select this button right here, and Cormac will be the only person that moves over there. It'd be him or Turin are the only people that are on Chivalry level 10. So from there I can go ahead, exchange him, get my 75 tokens. It kind of goes through a lot of, are you sure? It makes you nervous, but I'm sure. He's Chivalry level 10. I don't know what else to do with it. And then we can come back over here to Heroes. We've got 150 tokens. So we're almost at a point where we can buy a rare character. We can buy a uncommon if you're so into that. But we're almost to the point where we can buy a rare character if we're trying to stack up specific chivalries. And the more and more characters you start to max out, the more and more you'll be able to sell, so the faster this will stack up. As you can see here on my Relics exchange, I've got quite a few going on there. If we come over here into Relics, we can see, let's see here, we'll go ahead and select all, make sure that box checked. And so we did get one new one for me, and these 3 are repetitive, so we'll exchange those out, get 70 more tokens, and now we have 18,770 tokens. So, but it's moving the right direction. When you get to a point, I think it's, 52,000 you need for relics, for a legendary relic? Yeah. So at that point, you'd be able to buy them. But also, if you're looking for a specific rare relic, this is how I got my Rosier's relic. Showed up in here. If I do see Jarrett's Frost relic, I'll probably zip in here and pick it up as well, just to get his affinity right for Gorgos. So in the last couple days, I've been focused on the events. And the hero event dungeon, I was able to get through the first dungeon. Seemed pretty easy. I am stuck on level 7 here. I think I need more single target damage to knock them out, because I think they heal each other. I'm trying to remember exactly why I was stuck, but I've tried several times, haven't been able to get through it. We still have a few days on this though, so I'm hoping to progress through there and hopefully pick up this rate up summons there. And then also on the new dungeon, I've been putting some energy into this because of the event going on. You can stack up that currency to buy. They have a lot of great goodies in there. So I've only been able to beat Podarge in Sanctuary 4, which is kind of sad, to be honest, but it's also fun because it shows you how in-game this content is. I've only been playing 30 days, so it'd be kind of unreasonable for me to expect to beat Sanctuary 10, but I would like to get to like Sanctuary 7 or something, but you know, all in good time. So we'll be working on that as well, trying to get through that dungeon. I do need to start working on my Charlotte because I hear that this dungeon works out great for her, although you kind of need the gear set that you get from this dungeon in order to build her so that she can be successful in this dungeon, which is a little counterintuitive as far as being able to progress in the dungeon with gear you don't have yet. But I have been spending time there because the shop does have some really good rewards in there. If you jump over here into the event shop, you can see I've only stacked up 3,600. I think I did I buy some stuff? Maybe I haven't bought anything yet in here. But you do have rate up summons. You've got these memory stones. These guys here are, from what I understand, both incredible relics. So if you happen to have Iroh or Anya, these are both incredible relics for those champions. Obviously, these tokens are a very scarce resource in the game, and then you do get a guaranteed legendary if you can stack up 70. So for me personally, where I'm at in the game, I'd probably start here, although I do have Anya, so this might be a good pull for me, and then any leftovers I can get into additional summon tickets. That's kind of where I'm having the most fun, but it's probably not the smartest place to spend my tokens. But that's probably where I'm going to end up spending them. So ideally I can get to 70,000. I think the event's going on for quite a while here. I think the event actually ends a couple days before the shop ends, and that way you have a couple days after to spend the tokens that you accrued during the event itself. But that's about what I got for you today. I appreciate you guys sticking with me all the way to the end. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means the world to me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.